Good afternoon, everyone. Miss McCorkle here. So I guess this is video 8. So we are now going to start using our Fletcher theory papers. And we'll just be doing one paper, front and back, each week. And my goal is to tell you how to do that, so there won't be any problems and any questions about doing your worksheet. And then there might be a couple things that I ask you to write down. I do want to cover one thing. I've had a good many students that have had a little bit of trouble remembering their practice charts. So I want to make sure you remember there's a place to put a check when you do your theory video and worksheet. And then there's also a place for you to check when you do name that note app. So make sure you're going over that at least a couple times a week, and then have your parents sign the box. So make sure you're completing your calendar for your practice, and then you check off that you've done your worksheet and your video, and also the Name That Note app. So just want to get everybody back on track. Some of you are doing a great job with that. Others need a little work, so let's just try to improve on that. Okay, so first I'm just going to do a quick run through notes. So you will need to write these in your workbook. Okay, and I'm going to go kind of quickly because by now we should be able to name the notes, especially in the 5-finger position. C, D, E, F, G, and C, B, A, G, F. We should be able to knock those out very quickly. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, all right, so you're ready. You got a pencil, you've got your paper out. Here we go. So you can just write down RH. We're going to do 5 in the right hand. And just put the letter, let's just say it was an A, a B, a C, a D, an E. Just write them all straight across, one right after the other, and I can check them easily. Okay, so here's our first one. All righty. Oops, sorry. Sorry. Here's our second one. All right, number 3. All of these are right hand. Number 4. Number 5. And that brings us back to our first card, and we said those are the notes in the 5-finger position. Okay, now this time, write down, go down, skip a couple little lines and write down LH for left hand, and we're going to do the 5-finger position, CBAGF, going down, which is backwards in the alphabet, the first 5 notes in the middle C position. All right, let me check my cards and make sure none of them are upside down. Great, they're not. We're ready. All right, so here comes left hand. That's number 1. Number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and we're back to where we started. Okay? So that's the 5-finger position for both right and left hand. Now, I'm just going to do some in the right hand that are not in the 5-finger position. So that means you have to use Every Good Boy Does Fine or FACE. Here goes. RH. Next. Okay, I'm going to stop there. And then I'm going to do just a few in the left hand, so put LH. Here we go. Left hand. Oh, I forgot to tell you, a reminder. All cows eat grass and great big dogs fight animals. All cows eat grass, great big dogs fight animals. Here we go. And we're back to where we started. All right, so we're finished with our note naming review. And that's how quick it goes. If you'll just work on that note naming app, it goes fast, but it does you a world of good to have to quickly think about the names of these notes. So please make sure you're doing that a few times each week on Name That Note, okay? All right, so now let's jump in and talk about our first theory paper. Okay, the first thing that they're going to teach you is how to identify 5 C's on the music staff. Now, 2 of those C's are very high and very low, and they look the same. If you'll notice, they have 2 lines. You see that? So the very high C and the very low C look the same. All right, now the middle C you already know. So now we just need to make sure we know that the 3rd space in the right hand and the 2nd space in the left hand is our other C. Okay, now they're going to ask you to draw those 5 C's just like they've done them, straight up and down. You're going to draw them here, here, and here. Now, let me just use my little note finder to make sure you understand that. So if I take this all the way up and there's a line under it, that's a high C. If I take it all the way down, there's a line above it. That's your low C. Then, of course, you know where middle C is in the middle. And then the 2nd space in the left hand and 3rd space in the right hand. And that gives us all 5 C's. Okay? That's good information to know. So I'm glad that they started with that. Now, number 2, they're asking you to write these words in notes on the treble and also on the bass by using whole notes. So you're going to draw a C in the treble clef and a C in the bass clef just with using a whole note. And it can be any C that you want to draw. And each letter you'll do the same. We know there is more than one C, but you can choose which one you want to draw. It just has to be one in the treble and one in the bass. And they'll spell words kind of like we did when we first started doing videos. And you'll have those drawn in with whole notes. Now, number 3 is going to be a little exercise on accidentals. Notice what they're asking you to do. You're going to name the note that the sharp, flat, or natural goes to. And remember, we've talked about those have to have the line going through the little flat or the box of the sharp or natural. So I'll do a couple of these for you just to give you an idea. All right, I'm going to read you the directions. To which note does the sharp, flat, or natural sign belong? Write the letter name of the note that has the sharp, flat, or natural before it. All right, so if you'll look at this first one, and you'll notice where the flat is. If you count up every good boy, then you would write here where it says letter name, underneath that you'll put a B, because that's a B flat. The next one is in the third space. So we just talked about that earlier today. That sharp sign, F-A-C. So that's a C sharp. So you'll write your C under it. And that's what you'll do with all of these sharps, flats, and naturals. Okay, when you turn over, you're going to be adding a rest that's either a quarter rest or a half rest. Now, quarter rest, get 1 beat, and half rest, get 2 beats. So check your time signature. Notice that we need 4 beats. We already have 2, a half note, so we need a rest that gets 2 beats. So you'll have to decide which one of these rests gets the 2 beats. We know it's this one. Okay, the next measure has a dotted half note. That's a total of 3. We only need 1 more to have a total of 4. So draw the rest in that gets 1 beat. Okay? So that's what you're going to do on this top line. The next section, number 5, says the bar lines have been left out. So you're going to put them in. Be sure you have the right number of beats in each measure. So I would write my counts right where it says counts underneath, and when you get to, see, this one says 3 beats per measure, 1, 2, 3, bar line, 1, 2, and 3, bar line. So write your counts in first, and then draw your, as you go, and then write your bar lines in. But be sure you notice the time signatures change. 3 beats per measure, 2 beats per measure, and the next line is 4 beats per measure. Okay? All right, and then this last one, number 6, says complete these measures. You may use notes and rests. So you'll write your counts for what you have so far, and then you'll need to draw in and continue writing your counts until you get the total number of beats you need. 3 for this line, 4 for this line. And there's always going to be a little story at the bottom, so be sure you read that, and then I may ask you a couple questions about what you've read for the week. So it's always something to do with music. Okay? All right, well, this is an easy week for you, just working on notes and filling out your theory paper, and it's the first one in your pack. Ryan, you will receive yours from Dr. Sylvia Thursday, so don't panic. You don't have these yet, but I'm sending them to you. So you'll get your theory Fletcher papers. Fletcher theory, I always say that backwards. It's supposed to be the Fletcher theory papers, and I always say the theory Fletcher papers. Sorry. So make sure, don't panic, Ryan. You'll get yours on Thursday. Everybody else should have theirs. And I look forward to seeing you at your lesson this week. Get out and enjoy this afternoon. It's so beautiful. The sun's out, and it's going to be 72 degrees. So be sure to practice, and I will see you this week at your lesson. Have a great day.